Welcome back to FullThrottleRC. Today I'm moving forward with the front engine dragster build. In the last video, I assembled the rear end with all the 3D printed parts and a bunch of random pieces I had on hand. If you haven't seen it yet, you should probably click the link at the top corner there to get caught up. Today I have all these parts here to put the front end together, and hopefully I'll have a rolling chassis by the end of this video. So come in closer and we'll see if we can make something out of all of this. This thing goes here with this thing, and these slide in that goes there, he does this here, that spins there, and done. Whoa, no, that was too quick. Sorry about that, I get a little excited sometimes. So let's start with the 3D printed parts. This is what I'm calling the front bulkhead. It slides into the chassis, which is what these nice clean cutouts are for. Okay, these cuts are anything but clean. I noticed quickly that the plastic I used here originally is sort of brittle. I'm not worried about it in the middle of the car since it's supported, but I have a feeling it would shatter with a light tap on the front here. That's where this little guy comes in. The carbon fiber plate goes under the chassis, stiffening up the front end. 3 screws pass through it into the bulkhead, and 2 screws secure it towards the back. We'll get to those other 2 holes later. See that? I got ahead of myself. The bulkhead can't be installed until the lower arms are in. These are upper arms from the Traxxas funny car. I'm using them as lower arms. These hinge pins are E-Revo axle pins, and they just happen to fit perfectly. Have I mentioned I hate E-clips? So with both of them installed, now the bulkhead can be attached to the chassis. Now that that's pretty solid, let's move on. These are the front axle carriers I mentioned in the first video from a DB10. The screw passes straight through the pivot on the bottom of the arm and into the carriers. The upper arms are a mixture of 3D printing and old parts. I have a rod end with a sharp threaded rod screwed into a 3D printed pivot arm. I can screw the rod end in or out to adjust the front camber. They attach to the bulkhead with 2 more of those hinge pins, and then a screw through the rod end into the axle carrier. So originally I was gonna make this a straight front axle without suspension, but it would probably be nice to have a little suspension travel on the front. So I grabbed another one of those mini E-Revo shocks and made some brackets to attach it to the lower arms. I think it looks pretty cool, and it was fun to design. I threw together a quick steering arm with a rod and some rod ends, and now it just needs front wheels. This is another set of the Proline Pomona wheels that I have on my no prep car, but I'll probably paint some silver accents on these to match the rear wheels a little. With that, I have a rolling chassis. It still looks a little off though. The front end looks unfinished. Remember those 2 extra holes? I designed this fuel cell that ties into the frame to complete the front. I made it hollow so that if the front is too light, I can stuff some weight in there to keep the front end down. It'll obviously get painted when I paint the rest of the car and all the scale details. Yep, the next part of this build will be the scale details and maybe some painting. I still need to model a few parts, and I'll need to figure out a servo mount as well. Thanks for all the support on these videos. I've had this idea for a little while, and it's awesome to see everyone enjoying it as much as I am. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.